It is back again, the T-Mobile Changemaker Challenge Lab. That's our Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. First, we have with us T-Mobile Executive Vice President and Chief Communications Officer, Janice Kapner. Hi, Janice.
Hi there.
Well, this is the fourth nationwide contest that you've held, I think. Give us the overview of what it's all about.
Well, the intent is really to, give an opportunity to young future leaders, I call them, but that have ideas and passion around, frankly, making significant change in the world. And whether that's pertaining to, technology or sustainability, we have a lab that is the end game, as it were, after people submit ideas and then we look at those and sort of assess their viability and their completeness. And then we invite in teams into Bellevue where they get to go through a 3-day intensive lab to build that idea, whether it's, we've had people in the past do things for mental health, how to help students in school that are struggling, with mental health and create community for that. We've had people bring in amazing ideas on how to improve crops with less water. I mean, it really runs the gauntlet on big breakthrough ideas. We've had one team brought in a few years ago an idea on how to improve or reduce your trash outtake and use sort of a smart garbage can and those kinds of things. So the ideas are all over the place. And we have, some focus areas we really focus on, it's not just sustainability, it's really ESG areas. We focus on digital work, how to, be connected in a smart way and so forth. But they have a lot of freedom and they package those ideas and we look at those ideas and then we bring them into the lab and they learn how to storytell and how to build their pitch, and they get to pitch it to executives. They get coaching on how to bring those ideas to life even after they leave here. A lot of these young professionals go do exactly that. This year, I think we had 15 teams that are in. I just came from chatting with them about how to tell a story and how to package your proposal and your pitch, and they're amazing. And I wasn't doing anything this smart and this strategic when I was their age. So it's really, really inspiring to see these young professionals that want to make change in the world.
So let's take a step back. So this started out when? Earlier this year, this whole process?
Yeah, I'd have to get you the dates, but yeah, we started the process a few months ago with the initial sort of submissions. Yeah. And then they kind of go on this whole journey, and we let employees get involved and have, people take a look so that we can get it down to 15 teams that can come in and visit. Otherwise, we'd have hundreds of people coming in to visit.
Well, that's what I wanted to get at. The participation was, I guess, pretty terrific. Tell us how the word gets spread on this. Is this done through schools, or how do you attract submissions?
Yes. So we partner with Ashoka, who does a lot of these types of programs. We've made this one about, Changemaker because it's very near and dear to our heart as a company and a brand. But they have a lot of relationships and connections into schools all over the country. So we tap into their pre-existing sort of machinery to tell people about this opportunity and give them the insight and the option and the, any input that they need in order to package up their proposal. And we have had a great participation rate every year, hundreds and hundreds of submissions. And it keeps, they keep coming up with amazing ideas. I can't wait for Wednesday's pitch session.
Well, tell us about some of the things that have impressed you about the students who are there this week.
I'll tell you, these are not college kids, right? They're I think the age range is 13 to 18. Is that right? Yeah. And they're not people that have been out to pitch to senior executives or even each other as part of what they do every day. For someone like you or me, we've done those kinds of things for years. So what impresses me is the level of commitment to something that has, this is just passion projects, right? It's not, hey, I'm going to get paid for this, or hey, it's part of a school assignment. It is passion projects of things they think will change the world. So that's incredibly impressive. The second piece is, having just chatted with them, they're really smart asking great questions, talking about storytelling. And I got a number of really thoughtful questions from, people that are pretty early in life and are probably going to change the world in the future. But they're thoughtful and they listen and they ask good questions. And then at the heart of it all, they're still young adults, right? So I noticed the shyness and the sort of it takes a minute for people to raise their hand and ask the question, and yet they do it and they get the perspective and they take the perspective, and you see heads nodding around because it's a whole group of them. And so I just I look at this group of kids as I shouldn't call them kids, some of them are teenagers, but I look at this group of young people, and I have now for a few years, and every single time this lab happens, I walk away inspired and, wishing I had been more proactive in such ways when I was their age, because I just wasn't. So they're well ahead of me.
So you have different categories that you have entries in, and the students are there representing. One is digital empowerment, another is equity in action, another is thriving planet. These are grown-up topics. Mm-hmm. to a great extent that kids are getting into. So tell me about the selection process here and trying to narrow it down. You have a whole group of people at T-Mobile who get involved with this?
Yeah, there are multiple steps along the way. And typically they'll submit a write-up in a video with sort of their idea. And we have a team in our CSR organization that looks at it, and they pull in other employees, particularly when you think about like our DE&I council and other people at T-Mobile that have good worldly views on these things, and really look at what the proposals are. And all of them start as an idea. Some of them are more well-formed than others. And then as they go through, sometimes they offer more clarity, and then they come into the labs, it gets real crystallized until you kind of have the final pitch day, which is the one that's coming up in a couple days. That's my favorite day of the year, and I'll be doing it remote this year, unfortunately. But they are big topics, and that's what's so impressive about this young group, is that they actually have ideas on topics of this importance and magnitude in today's world. And I promise you, I've said it before, but I don't know what you were doing at 15, 16, 17, but I wasn't trying to solve diversity and equity problems or mental health problems or sustainability problems. And I just love that this is a passion play for these individuals. It's not something anybody put them up to. It's just their personal passions on how to make this world better in the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Now, coming out of this, is one of the goals to turn their dreams here into reality, or what happens from here?
Well, definitely, they go through a process, and we get down to a handful of what we call sort of grand prize winners. They're all winners to come to the lab and go through the 3 days of coaching and learning and pitching. And there's seed money that we donate, which I will get the math wrong because it changes every year, but we donate, money to each of the teams to then go make them a reality, to the extent that they can and work on it. I will tell you, like last year we had a team in here, we were going through, I think, last year, was it last year or the year before, we were close on the heels of another horrific shooting. And we had a number of teams that were really talking about mental health. If you think about being a middle school or a high school student and watching some of the kinds of gun violence that have happened in schools at the national stage, and talking about, apps or specific channels inside social where you can give mental health tips on how to navigate that kind of stress. And then that team gets some seed money, and they can go determine if they're going to work with third-party experts to create those modules and launch those kinds of programs. And I should have at my fingertips, and I apologize that I don't at the moment, who's gone how far, but I know there are a number of really cool examples we can get you of teams that have gone from the lab and, expanded their programs, further. Some of them start with deploying a mental health initiative into one school, and then they start hitting their surrounding schools, and then their desire was, in this particular instance, to create scale and be able to call it a toolkit online that every school in the country, if they wanted it, could create, and not an academic teacher oriented set of mental health, right? This is young people talking to each other on how do I help somebody open up and have a conversation when they don't want to talk to their teacher, but how do I have a conversation with one another? And it's coming from the point of view of the one another. And that's what makes it different, because it's not, the parents or the teachers or, people that are no longer in school trying to say, here's how you should go engage on this.
I imagine a lot of these kids have been impacted. How could they not be by the pandemic and having had to spend time at home, distance learning, a lot of problems with that here and there, even the equity when it comes to connectivity and technology. So they've gone through a lot, these kids, haven't they?
They really have. And last year was the first time, I think we can't remember if we went digital the year before that, but last year we brought them back in person and we went through a great deal of, you had to be vaccinated and we did distancing and the feedback we got from the parents of the children was, my goodness, they haven't been able to be out doing a thing, really anything in so long, that just the interpersonal engagement and, getting to go do something in person in a traditional way instead of all digital learning was incredibly compelling for all of them. So I'm thrilled that it's, even safer now to have everybody back and let them do the in-person, get to know each other, learn from each other, talk to each other, as well as learn from Ashoka and the other T-Mobile folks that'll be working with them.
Well, congratulations on the efforts there at T-Mobile in helping these kids. You've been involved in many different kinds of causes. So where is it that people can go to get more information about this and maybe participate down the road?
They can go to tmobile.com/changemaker to find out more information and see what came out of today's events.
Terrific. And now we're going to meet a couple of the change makers.
Yes, I hope you're as inspired as I am.
Two of the young people at the Changemaker Lab are Jacqueline Teague and Amelie Beck. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hello.
And hi, Amelie.
Hello.
You are part of a group, I don't know if we'll call it a company, called MedTech Connect from Louisville, Kentucky. Tell us a little bit about it. Who wants to go first here?
I can go first. So it all kind of began with our initial sort of group Vax Connect KY, which began right as the vaccine was rolling out in kind of the heat of the pandemic. And our goal with that was to kind of help guide people who had more trouble with technology and like navigating the internet and stuff like that and get their vaccines, because in the beginning it was all online. So it was hard to get to if you didn't have a certain level of like computer literacy. And now it's sort of shifted as the vaccine has, done its job and it's not as much of a huge issue. It's become a lot more accessible. We've shifted our focus to kind of just like online medicine in general. So guiding people through the process of like making appointments online, seeing their physicians online, and just kind of helping people out who maybe don't have the tools or the knowledge to like navigate it on their own.
And I take it many of these people are older adults who may not be as familiar with the technology. Amelie, tell me about that.
Yes, so we, the senior citizen age group is especially during the vaccine rollout, was a group that was kind of overlooked because, all the online technology aspect of it, it was just kind of assumed that everyone knew how to do it. So we actually helped sign up our grandparents for their vaccines. And then we started helping their friends, and we realized that it was kind of an issue throughout the whole senior citizen elderly community, that it was really hard to just log online and kind of sign up for their vaccine appointments. But it was easy for us because we were younger, and we realized that we could help out with because we had the knowledge. And so that's pretty much how it got started. And then MedTech Connect, as Jacqueline said, we've kind of transitioned into a more telehealth based company to where we help seniors get on Norton MyChart, which is an app that is really helpful for refilling prescriptions, communicating with their doctors and stuff like that.
Are you two related? Tell me about yourselves and how old you are, what grade you're in, etc.
So I'm a senior and Amelie is a junior, and we are in fact cousins. We grew up very close, and like Amelie said, it all kind of began with our grandparents who were both very close with. And so it was just kind of like an easy person to pick as far as like tackling the sort of challenge at the beginning.
Definitely.
So this is really wonderful. And so it got started last year, right? Early last year.
Yes,
Do you know,
yeah,
do you,
January.
have you counted? Do you know about how many older adults you've been able to help?
So we've so we have helped over 500 citizens with telehealth, and we have gotten over 2,100 senior citizens vaccinated. Like helped 2,100 seniors sign up to get their vaccine.
That's terrific. And, you know, we should say that many older adults are familiar with the technology, but many others aren't so much, or don't have the equipment or the internet connections, et cetera. So tell me about expanding this whole concept and where you're going from here.
So our goal from here is to make accessing medicine online and like visiting with your doctor just like accessible for everyone. We've talked a lot about how in like 2000, President Clinton passed the law that every hospital has to speak every language of every person that can walk in. And what we believe is that like speaking the internet and like technology is also something that's really important and that a lot of people have just been kind of overlooked with. So our goal is to just kind of educate anyone who is unsure of how to navigate the system of like signing up for online appointments and stuff like that, so that we can make online medicine something that's accessible for everyone.
And there you are now in Seattle, I think, at the
Yes.
Changemaker event that T-Mobile is having. Tell me about this experience here and what you're gaining from it.
Well, I'd say like this is such an amazing opportunity for us, and we're so grateful that we are here right now. And I mean, I would say that the best part of this is meeting all these other young people that are inciting change and really making a difference. And it's a great opportunity to meet new people and network, and it's really just a great opportunity all around. I mean, there's workshops, things like that. So it's really amazing. Jacqueline, I don't know if you want to.
Oh yeah, I think I've learned so much. I mean, we haven't been here that long from our flight debacle, but I feel like I've already learned so much just from speaking to other people with like completely different projects, similar projects. Just there's a lot of really interesting, smart people concentrated here, and it's really cool to like learn alongside them and kind of like learn to expand with those people.
And you're getting some support in terms of knowledge and perhaps financial to some extent too, in helping this along.
Yes. Yeah. So I think with the prize is seed money, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of to help like grow and expand everything and kind of scale everything out. So that's also exciting.
Well, you two are in high school. You've got so much ahead of you. You've got college and beyond, but you're learning some great lessons here, I think. So do you envision yourself as becoming entrepreneurs, keeping this going somehow as well? What's your vision here?
Well, I think we definitely want to keep MedTech Connect going in the future. I mean, as long as anyone needs help, we'll be around. So I'm not sure about the entrepreneur. I mean, what do you think, Jacqueline?
For me, my favorite part about, sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. My favorite part about this whole project and everything is the advocacy aspect. I really enjoy talking to people who have had trouble with this and being able to help them and like have that impact. That's a big thing for me and something I could definitely see myself going into in the future. As far as like the entrepreneurship part, I mean, maybe I haven't exactly always thought of myself with like a business mind, but I could definitely see it. And medicine, probably not.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to learn about for sure.
So beyond Louisville, Kentucky, tell me how this has grown and where you are now with this idea of yours.
So we actually, some groups in other states have reached out to us and asked us how we started our organization. And so we have sent templates and kits to how many?
5 states.
Yes, 5 states. So So we have sent templates and kits to other organizations so they can kind of get the same thing started in their areas. So that's how we've kind of expanded. And again, meeting people here at the Changemaker Challenge is like just a wonderful opportunity to collaborate with other organizations who are doing similar things. So that's kind of how we're expanding a little bit. And again, the seed money that we are probably going to use to expand our organization as well, with the website, as Jacqueline mentioned, and getting more members and things like that. So
Just wonderful. So for more information about what you are doing, is there a place people can go to?
We're on social media at MedTech Connect and Vax Connect if you want to go back into the past a little bit. And we're working on launching a website to make all of this like a little bit more accessible for everybody. But we're definitely on like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Yeah.
Terrific. Well, Jacqueline Teague and Amelie Beck, thank you so much for taking time with us, and congratulations on being there and on all you're doing.
Thank you so much.